Are you over 50 and struggling with unexplained weight gains? Are you feeling frustrated by stubborn belly fat and slow metabolism? You are not alone. Due to hormonal changes, all of our bodies change significantly after 50. Now, does that mean we need to start dieting? Absolutely not. In fact, dieting could make it worse. Today, we're tackling menopause weight gain, including that stubborn belly fat, with simple strategies to fuel your body differently. I'm going to be sharing tips that help me shed 30 pounds of menopause weight, along with easy and delicious food swaps to boost your metabolism and help you regain your energy, feel stronger and more in control, because we're eating smarter, not less. A channel for every woman who's unapologetically growing bolder. I'm Angel, the founder of Maison 276 and creator of the award-winning 3-step system for silver gray or blonde hair, a healthy way to brighten, cleanse, and restore the natural brilliance of your hair without purple dyes. On The Beauty of Aging, we talk about a variety of topics from silver hair care, beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and wellness. Today is episode 2 of a new series, Fitness Over 50. In episode 1, we discuss 5 ways to jumpstart or reignite your fitness journey. And today we're sharing strategies to fight menopause weight gain. Now, before we talk about what to do, let's talk about why this all even happens in the first place. As we age, naturally our bodies undergo changes that can affect our metabolism. But for women in particular, the decline in estrogen during menopause can lead to slower metabolism and increased fat storage, especially around the midsection. And one of the biggest misconceptions about dieting during midlife is that we need to restrict our calorie intake. Research has shown that when you severely restrict your calorie intake, your body thinks it's starving, and so it slows down your metabolism, hangs on to those very fat stores that you're trying to get rid of. Another factor is that as we age, the slowed metabolism also reduces our muscle mass. And finally, we know that insomnia is a very common symptom of menopause, and this insomnia actually impacts more hormonal imbalance, which in turn sometimes gives us sugar cravings, and well, there's nothing good that can come from that. Now, all of that sounds like a lot of bad news, but the good news is that we can control and reverse many of these factors, not by cutting calories, not by eating less, by eating smarter, eating differently, and moving in a way that supports our body now. And here are 5 immediate actions you can take to impact menopausal weight gain. Eat more fiber of all kinds. Vegetable fiber, whole grain fiber. Get moving. Find movement that gives you joy, because that is the thing you will do consistently. Lower your stress level. When our stress is increased, cortisol is increased, and that actually causes our body to store fat. Get more rest. Sleep is a non-negotiable, and it impacts every part of our lives. And finally, one of the most important health factors for women over 50, eat more protein. More lean protein by adding protein to every single meal. And why is this important? Because protein takes more energy to digest. This in turn increases your metabolism, as well as increasing and maintaining muscle mass. So let's take a quick trip to the grocery store for some kitchen staples and simple swap outs. And let's remember our goals: lean proteins at every meal and smart carbs. Let's go shopping. So as I was coming into the grocery, I see they have herbs on sale, on clearance. I'm super excited because I actually did not get my herb garden started this spring, so this is the absolute perfect time. And this is the time over here. Let's see. Oh, I think I'll take this one. This one looks better. Now let's start with the most important meal of the day, and that's breakfast, of course. When you think of breakfast foods, eggs are the first thing you think of, which are very high in protein, but they're also just as high in cholesterol. So an easy, healthy swap out are egg whites, which are 90% protein. They have no cholesterol, no fat. And they also contain 9 essential amino acids that your body needs. Another swap out is an egg substitute. Many of them are made with real egg whites, so you still get the taste and the feel of a beautiful stuffy scrambled egg, or healthy omelet without the cholesterol and fat. When it comes to dairy, also a great source of protein, go with a low-fat Greek yogurt. Get one that's unflavored, that doesn't have a lot of artificial sugar already added into it. Drizzle a little bit of honey, add a healthy homemade granola, and your favorite seasonal berry. You've got a quick, easy, high protein, low fat, high fiber, high calcium breakfast treat. And as a reminder, as it relates to fruit, we need fruit because they contain lots of essential vitamins. But just keep in mind that many fruit are very high in sugar. So you either want to avoid or eat in moderation those fruits, which include bananas, pineapples, mangoes, grapes, and even some citrus fruit. Now let's head over to my favorite part of the store, the produce section. I recommend having a colorful, healthy, crunchy salad with every meal. Bypass the heavy cream-laden salad dressings and instead opt for a lighter olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette dressing. This is a great source of fiber along with the healthy fat of an olive oil as a perfect accompaniment for any dinner. When it comes to your vegetable selection, make sure that it's very colorful, and that will ensure that you're getting the wide range of essential vitamins that you need. Also, vegetables are a great alternative to traditional flour-based pasta. There are a variety of zucchini noodles and squash noodles that are perfect for your favorite pasta sauce. Incorporate vegetables that increase your metabolism, like broccoli and cauliflower. For a potato substitute, instead of white potatoes, opt for a sweet potato. And if you're a potato lover, instead of a white potato, opt for the sweet potato. It's got higher vitamin A content, which is great for your immune system and vision. It's got a lower glycemic index, which is important for managing your blood sugar, and that applies to everyone, not just diabetics. And finally, it has far more fiber than a white potato. Let's talk about the plant-based alternatives to meat, the portobello mushroom and the cauliflower. They can take on the bold flavors of seasonings and herbs that you would normally put on a steak or ribs. They're thick, filling, and very satisfying. Shortly, I'll show you how I season both of these as plant-based alternatives to meat. Now, when we talk about lean meats, we're talking about skinless chicken breasts, chicken thighs, and then of course there's fish, a very wide range, from the delicate, light, flaky varieties to the thick, meaty, steak-like varieties such as salmon, tuna, and swordfish. And of course, we know that tofu is another plant-based alternative to animal protein. Very much like mushrooms and cauliflower, it can take on every bowl seasoning you want to throw at it. It's filling, it's protein packed, and it's a great alternative to meat. And while we're leaning into lean proteins, no pun intended, we definitely want to stay away from processed meats like hot dogs and sausage, luncheon meats, because these items are high in fat and high in sodium. Another easy swap out white rice for limited amounts of wild rice. Additionally, quinoa is not only a great swap out for white rice, quinoa is an extremely high source of protein, and it can be eaten cold in a salad or hot as a protein-heavy side dish right along with your lean protein and healthy salad. Now, in addition to swapping out our flour-based pasta with zucchini noodles and squash noodles, there are now plant-based pastas made with chickpea, lentils, edamame, even black beans. These pastas are delicious. They come in all the varieties of your traditional pasta without the white flour that elevates our glycemic index, but loaded with protein, tasty. They go perfectly with all of your favorite pasta dishes, hot or cold. I love bread, but I bypass all of this bread to head over to the bakery section. Why? Because most of these breads, even the ones that are wheat, are made with over-refined and over-processed flour, and they are loaded with refined sugar. On the other hand, the bread made in the bakery, it's not made with refined flour, so it's retained the nutrients. There are lots of whole grains and nuts infused in the bread, and it has little to no sugar as compared to the other types of bread. It's a little bit more, but it is so much more filling and so much better for you. And finally, let's talk about snacks. Nuts, of course, are a great source of protein, fiber, and lots of important nutrients. But for optimal benefit, you want nuts that don't have sugar or an excessive amount of salt added. And then there's peanut butter. Peanut butter isn't just for kids, but we need to be mindful of the label and make sure that we're choosing the versions that have no added sugar. So a quick diversion here. As you guys saw when I was going into the grocery store, they had fresh herbs out, which is very unusual. It's late August. Usually the garden centers and even the grocery stores, they don't have fresh herbs out this time of year. But this excited me so much because this spring I didn't get to plant a little herb garden. So let me tell you what I got. I have basil, so good. I have thyme. I'm gonna wind up giving some of this to my friends because I'm not gonna be able to cook and consume it as fast as it's gonna grow. Thyme. This is mint. I set that in a pot right quick. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to put that in some tea tonight. Rosemary, another one of my favorite. They're all my favorite. I love them all. Oh, oregano. Which is this, Greek oregano? Italian oregano. I wish you could smell it. So good. Now let's make 3 easy, quick, but highly nutritious meals from my grocery shopping spree. Is your silver gray or blonde hair looking dull, drab, tired, just blah? The Maison 276 3-step system is designed to bring your brilliance back. Brighten, cleanse, and restore the natural brilliance of your hair without the use of purple dyes. All of our products are clinically tested, plant-based, and certified clean beauty to restore and maintain the brilliance of your silver gray or blonde hair. No purple dyes, no messy after shampoo cleanup, no drama. Just beautiful hair. Including protein in every meal is really important, and of course for breakfast, one of the easiest ways to do that is with eggs, but then there is the whole issue of cholesterol. So for several years now, I've been using egg beaters. It's an egg substitute, but it's made with real egg whites, but also sometimes I'll buy just egg whites. And I will put just a teeny bit of butter, not very much. This has 25 calories per serving, but most importantly, no sugar, 5 grams of protein, and no cholesterol at all. You can also use that to cook with as well, for baking, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna jazz it up a little bit with some store-bought pico. And then I also have some toast. Perfect omelet. And I've got 1 slice of my 9-grain wholesome made from scratch bread that we saw from the bakery. Then my grocery store makes really great guac. So one of the ways you keep your guac from browning, because it's the oxygen that makes it brown, is after you make it or after you open your store-bought guac, cover the top with plastic to keep the air from getting to it, and then you don't have brown guac. There you go. And of course, we know avocados have the good fat. And there you have it. High protein, low fat, nutritious breakfast. Voila. This is super, super simple. So I've already washed my portobello mushroom, and now I'm going to score it because I want the seasoning, but I'm not going to cut all the way through. Maybe like, what is that? It was like this much. I don't know. Is that a 1/2 inch? 1/4 inch? Anyway, depends on how big the mushroom is, but I'm just scoring it because I want all the seasoning to go through it because it's really thick and meaty. And just like you would want a piece of animal protein marinated, especially a thick piece, the same here. Did you see how thick this is? You see? That's why in many restaurants, this is the vegan hamburger, because it's pretty thick. I am going to first put a little liquid smoke on it. Actually, I'm going to do soy sauce first. Just a little bit, because I just want to get that down in there. And then I'm going to flip it over just a little bit. Not too much, because I'm also going to use some Cajun seasoning, which also has salt, obviously. Now a little bit of liquid smoke for that smokiness. This is also a good trick. Like when I cook beans and I don't put meat in them, whether it's red beans, it doesn't matter, whatever the beans are. Any bean that I would normally have seasoned with pork meat, I put a little bit of liquid smoke, and you still get that smoky flavor. Okay, now I am going to do this is my favorite seasoning. When I drive home to New Orleans, I just stop in Lafayette and pick this up. Don's Specialty Meats. It's a meat shop. Well, specialty meat shop, yeah. And now I'm also gonna put some paprika, because that's gonna increase the smokiness. And that extra soy sauce and smoke, liquid smoke, I'm just turning that way, because I want that mushroom to suck up all that seasoning. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil on there, and then I'm gonna let that marinate. So while that's marinating, then I'll show you how I do the cauliflower, which is essentially gonna be the same concept. Okay, I don't want to cook this whole cauliflower. Okay, so I'm only gonna slice this part of it, but for the purposes of this, there's none right here. This is good. I'm just gonna show you how I season the cauliflower steaks. But typically, as you can see, the flowerets have a tendency to wanna come off. And so for a steak, it needs to be pretty thick so it'll stay intact. And that one did not. It's okay. This is live TV. Not really, but I actually have done that successfully many times. I'm not sure why. We're gonna rinse this out and you're gonna see how it'll be cauliflower drumettes instead of cauliflower steak. Fresh herbs, thyme, lots of oregano, and rosemary. But these we're going to air fry after we marinate them. You've had cauliflower hot wings at some restaurant as an appetizer, I'm sure. That's what this is going to be very similar to, but no batter. Since it was breaking apart anyway, I just figured we're going to go with it. So we're going to season this very much the same way we did the portobello mushrooms, starting with the soy sauce, then a good amount of liquid smoke, favorite seasoning, some paprika because I want more of that smokiness. And by the way, smoked paprika, let me be clear. All paprika is not the same. And that's gonna add a little bit more heat. And then because this is a vegetable and it doesn't have any fat, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to that. And just let's toss that. Sure, everything's got some smoke, liquid smoke on it. Now I'm gonna take the herbs, just dump it all in there. The thing about plant-based cooking is you have to infuse a lot more flavor, not salt, flavor, because that is what satisfies you. And then also a little bit of fat, which is where the olive oil comes in. But it doesn't have to be olive oil, it could be avocado oil. That's also good for cooking, but we're gonna let that marinate. It smells so good. Okay, so we've got our cauliflower marinating, and essentially the same marinade that we use for the portobello mushrooms. The difference is in the preparation. We're going to saute the portobello mushroom. The cauliflower drumettes are actually going to be prepared in the air fryer. And then about 5 minutes before I'm ready to take them out, I'm going to brush them with some barbecue sauce and put them back in there so they can get nice and crispy, and it's going to be a wonderful treat. Okay, so now we're gonna saute our portobello mushroom steak. I've just got about a half teaspoon of olive oil in there, and it's like on a medium heat. We want to get a nice little sear on it, but we don't want it to cook super fast. Now first let me show you how all the soy sauce and the seasonings and the liquid smoke, it's all infused in there because we scored it. And remember, you can eat mushrooms raw, so it's less about cooking it and more about just getting a good sear and then getting it heated all the way through. And then I'm going to take the marinade and just pour that in there, and the herbs and everything, because we want all that flavor. So I would say maybe like 3 minutes per side. We'll see where it's at in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes is perfect. As you can see, it's released some of the water because mushrooms have a high water content. We got a nice looking char on that. And then on this side, we're only going to do 1 minute because we don't want all the water to come out of the mushroom. We still want it to be juicy, like a juicy hamburger. Okay, let's take a look at our mushroom. That looks so good. So let's cut into it. Okay, let's cut into it. See what we got. Beautiful. That marinade's gone all the way through. So good. And that paprika gives it a little bit of kick along with our Cajun Creole seasoning. So, you know, that's right up my alley. So meaty. Again, a hamburger or any other dish where you might have a nice juicy steak. So good. Now let's prepare our cauliflower drumettes for the air fryer. Okay, that noise in the background is the air fryer heating up. So I've taken the pan, lined it with some foil because I like an easy cleanup. And then I'm just brushing some olive oil on the foil because I don't want them to stick. It's a vegetable, it's got a high water content, so it's definitely gonna stick if we don't do this. And they've marinated, they smell so good. Okay, here we go. Now remember, this is a vegetable which we can eat raw. So the idea is that we just really want to get it tender. We don't want it to be mushy because we still want to have some texture, some crunch. I've got the air fryer at 375 for 10 minutes, and then I'll check afterwards and see if we need to let it go 5 more minutes. So 10 minutes in the air fryer, they are perfectly done. Slightly crunchy, but still tender. So we're gonna put the barbecue sauce on there. I know a lot of restaurants, when they serve cauliflower drumette or cauliflower wings, they deep fry them. We're not doing that. We're just going to let them soak up some of this barbecue sauce. Here you go, guys. A healthy, easy, but very flavorful alternative to the typical deep fried cauliflower wing. Now, if you want to give it a more buffalo wing vibe, just add your favorite hot sauce. Tender, but still crunchy. Oh yeah. It's got a nice kick from the Creole Cajun seasoning, that smoky flavor from the liquid smoked and the smoked paprika. It is a great appetizer for football season, which is just around the corner, or it can be your meat substitute for dinner. Either way, quick, simple, healthy, and most importantly, incredibly tasty. I hope these quick, easy, simple, tasty, but very healthy meals have inspired you to do some healthy swap outs. This is all about reframing the goal. Healthy habits, not dieting. We're not chasing the scale, but instead building healthy habits to make us feel strong, energized, confident, and in control of our body. Eating smarter, not less, is the key to a healthier midlife metabolism. By focusing on whole, unprocessed foods, making informed choices, combining movement and proper rest, it's a time-tested strategy for maintaining your fitness at 50 and beyond. So let me hear from you down in the comments. What are some of your strategies? What healthy habits have you adopted? You know, I love chit-chatting with you in the DMs, and this community is all about sharing information, so let me hear from you out there. And remember, don't forget to watch episode 1 of Fitness Over 50, 5 easy steps to get started or to reignite your wellness journey. Thanks so much for joining us on the beauty of aging. For watching, for commenting. I read and respond to every single comment. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so you'll be notified when episode 3 uploads. Let me know if you're enjoying this series and if there's a particular challenge that you have with fitness over 50. I'd be happy to create an episode to help you meet your fitness goals. And of course, don't forget to join us every Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, where we live stream here on YouTube, Coffee with Angel. We chit chat about a variety of topics, but they're all issues that are important to you, the woman who is unapologetically growing bolder. And I did a survey, and as it turns out, many of you are interested in a second version of Coffee with Angel on the weekends. If you didn't see the poll, let me know in the comments if you would be interested in a weekend version of Coffee with Angel and what times work best for you. Thanks so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time on The Beauty of Aging.